Otis B. Dreds here, and we're talking more true crime. Bobby, this
Eh,
is Bobby's a hey.
eh,
Hey. Um, we've been doing we did a Delphi show last week that hasn't done too terribly bad. If you haven't seen that, check that out over in the YouTube channel, Night of the Living Dreads. We had so much fun doing that one. There's another case that we're going to talk about
well,
today. Missy Bevers, leave it to Beavers. I promise there won't be a lot of jokes because this is another unsolved case, and the reason you get to see Bobby this week is because we have some surveillance video to show you that we're going to talk about, uh, like the Delphi case. In the beginning, and this happened. Oh, geez, I get my dates right. This happened back in 2016, April 18th, 2016. So we're looking at over 7 years.
yeah,
And it was pretty close to that with Delphi as
yeah,
well. What was it, about 6, 7 years?
6 years, I
Oh,
think.
6 years. Yeah, because that was
17.
2017. Yeah. Um,
Yeah,
so, and a lot of these cases, I think we can argue, could have been solved quite early.
yeah,
Maybe we're just being armchair detectives. Would you agree with that assertion?
yeah. I've lived my life that way.
Yeah.
I'm all a guesstimate, man.
Mm.
That's it. But they got similarities.
They really do. Yeah. The in like I said in the very beginning, they had a very well, they had video.
Yeah,
Delphi had video. Bridge guy.
yeah.
Again, horrible name. We can't stop talking about that.
Snapchat killer.
The Snapchat, which is actually better
Mhm.
than Bridge Guy. And now with the Missy Bevers case, we also have a video, a surveillance video of this guy in full SWAT gear, riot type
Yeah,
outfit, and it's they that's all they really got. They have nothing really to go on. It seems at this
yeah,
point they've exhausted all possibilities, or all suspects.
yeah.
They've kind of. We'll give a quick rundown because again, nothing much has happened over the past six seven
Yeah.
years with this case. In a
It's a,
nutshell, Missy Bevers, she was 45 years
I
old,
think
I
so.
believe. Three kids, married, seemed to, be a good marriage, just, very happy. She's a member of the church. She was a fitness instructor, which is something that, she strived to be. It
Yeah,
was, it was a goal of hers. She was really good at it, got her certificate, started training classes. Now they would the church was pretty what was nice enough to let them either use their auditorium
yeah,
inside or use their parking lot. A lot of times they would do their fitness stuff outside. It was raining this particular morning, April 18th. And so they decided to do it inside. The rain wasn't going to stop them. She was very dedicated.
yeah.
Um, so, she arrived. She didn't realize somebody was already there, which we're going to watch the surveillance here in just a minute. Um, and I guess some of her students arrived about 5 ish. She got there around 4 ish.
4:30.
4:30, yeah.
And they call those people who come early. They call them campers.
Campers, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Camp Guardian, or
yeah.
yeah, or something like
Some
Camp Guardian.
Yeah, sometimes the people who are early in her class,
Gladiator, that's what it
yeah,
is.
they would get in first before she even got there.
Mm.
There's a button they could press and they could get in and go ahead and set their stuff up because they were so loyal. They'd been with her for a long time,
Right.
kind of deal. And so that morning, apparently, they both got held up in some kind of way. One of them got a flat tire.
Yeah, I think
And
so.
I
Yeah.
can't remember if the other one even went at all that day. But which was odd because they would usually beat her there. So
Mhm.
I don't know. It's a weird case because you got video of a guy walking around. You could see his gait. You know, and they say it could be a girl, a woman too.
There's a lot,
You
yeah,
know,
there's a lot of different theories, and once everybody gets a chance to look at the surveillance with us, we can all theorize on
yeah,
what we think is
yeah,
the biggest possibility. And you're right, a couple of the campers uh did get held up that morning, was running a little bit
yeah,
late. But when they finally got there, I believe around 5,
yeah,
they it didn't take them long to find Missy dead, laying on the ground, numerous puncture marks, they
yeah.
call them, in her head, in her chest. There was a bunch of broken glass around her, and that is the scene that was left for Midlothian police. Um, and then you have this surveillance video,
Yeah.
and that's really all they got going on
That's it.
for it right now.
That's it.
Um, so let's I'm gonna pop this video up here, and we can take a look at this. Make sure. Oh, okay, coming through good there. We see him here. He's walking. Notice his gait, the feet kind of pointing,
Yeah.
outward.
And the height compared to the door frame.
The height compared to the door frame will give you a pretty close estimation of how tall he is.
Standard looking door frame.
Doesn't look like he's, now that they're saying that he was trying to break into this place.
Yeah.
Or into this door
He
here.
definitely looks like he was.
It doesn't look like he's putting a lot of effort into it, does it?
Not really.
It just, it's not really.
Pretty nonchalantly.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's really putting a whole lot. And you get a good look at his gait and his walk here. And I will refer to him as he, because we don't.
It could be a woman. I mean, anything's possible.
Mhm.
But I'm thinking more man with that kind of walk. Almost like they got a hip problem. They're turning that foot outside.
That right foot, that
Yeah.
right leg.
You don't see those double doors very often anymore. It's
No,
wild.
you really don't. And it was like he was looking for something in there. There's nothing in there. You can see him down, up here, probably looking in another door. Kind of jumpy right there, the camera.
Yeah.
He's got a headlight, like a miner.
Headlamp, yeah.
He's got a headlight. Turn your eye beams off, man. And here you'll see him. Now, this is what I wanted to get your opinion on, Bobby. He starts breaking glass. All right, what is that? What is in his other hand? It looks to be rectangular, possibly about a foot or so, square.
Yeah.
Like a box. Not quite sure what that is right there.
I'm not sure.
We do see
like
glass. Yeah. He's breaking glass, as we can see right here. Now, and that is, quote unquote, the extended version of now. Now I want to look at this car video here. Now this is at the SFWA, I believe it is what it is. It's a firearms weapons store.
Right.
And this is their surveillance. Now, I don't think has it been connected that this car and the driver of this car is in fact the person that broke into the church and killed Missy. I don't think. Yeah, I haven't heard it.
Not 100%. What they're thinking is this is a car that was driving around the area within a couple hours, in the area, there really shouldn't be many people driving.
Yeah, we're
There's
talking
not
about
much
3
there.
o'clock in the
Yeah, 3
morning at
o'clock in the
least.
morning. And this was a person that was going kind of from parking lot to parking lot, that they wanted to question this person. So they
Mhm.
put it all over the news that if you were out in this area, you own this car, give us a holler or something. We want to talk to you. And nobody ever did
Right.
come forward. So they are thinking that it's possible that this is the vehicle that the perp was driving in.
Okay.
So there's a very good chance that it is.
Let's and this again is the SW or SFWA. Here comes this car. Lights go off as soon as they turn in. Why? It's dark out, obviously. It's raining. The weather is not good at all.
Boring, yeah. Soaker.
You see different angles of this car, and it just does some really weird things here. Um this is again another angle of him coming in of the first video we saw. When he goes around, and it's almost like he's casing this place.
Yeah, could be very well.
I'm not sure what's going on there. Oh, there it is. Okay, there's his car. And obviously no way to get any kind of license plate.
No.
There have been some investigators, I guess you could say, YouTube investigators, Anthony Stoner. I swear that's his last name.
It's great.
Or that's just what he calls himself. I don't know. He's done a lot of work, just, from his home, just somebody concerned about this case. And yet, look at this. It's almost like he flashed his lights. There's a couple cars there, turns them back on, and then he takes off.
Maybe that's what made him leave. When he saw those cars there, he figured somebody was there.
I was thinking, because there's different theories, on whether or not this was a targeted killing. Was it a targeted female killing? Was it, just a burglary gone wrong? And the burglary aspect of it, that theory, people are saying he was casing this place first.
Very well could be.
And that those cars there, the amount of cameras being a gun store,
right,
was, too much for him. So he took off. Now, again, if this is, they're thinking this is the same person that maybe went right up the street. I mean, literally right up the street, probably less than a mile, maybe a mile. I don't know.
Well, I think it was the next building.
The next building up, was the church. I don't know if there was any outside cameras on the church. I haven't heard anything about that, because that would for sure, you'd be able to, it would place that car there so that, they can focus on these being the same people.
The police in this case, just like the Delphi case, have been keeping a lot of stuff really close to the vest. Haven't put a whole lot out. There's still speculation that people think that she was actually shot and not bludgeoned or, stabbed. And
right.
So it's hard to say. We don't know an official cause.
Yeah, they say puncture. They trauma to the head.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And puncture, in her chest and in her head.
Yeah.
And we see him just sitting there, not really, doing much anything. He circled the building. This over here appears to be, the over to the right there.
It seems to be like it would be somebody who's like up to no good.
It really does. Yeah, right over here looks to be the entrance, because you got your handicap parking there.
3 o'clock in the morning. It also could just be somebody getting out of the bar, and drunk and pulling over and fixing things up. Who knows? But it is pretty peculiar. I would, and if it was just that, you figure that person would come forward when they asked, just to clear themselves.
Yeah. If they're not guilty and they were just, not out up to no good.
As far as it being the car and the guy, I would say I would lean that way. It is probably the same person.
Mm. I kind of think so as well. This video is like 7 minutes. We're not going to sit here for 7 minutes and watch him in the parking lot. Although that's something you can do in your own time.
Is he putting his helmet on in that 7 minutes? Is he getting his weapons right?
You know, that could be it too.
Yeah. Think about 7 minutes, man. You can do a lot.
You really can do a lot in 7 minutes. Well, actually, it's about 3 minutes. So yeah, we'll just finish watching the rest of this. See, because this is, as far as I know, this is like from 17 different angles, maybe all they got. Because he wasn't there too terribly long. Because Missy showed up about 4. I don't know what the timestamp is on these particular videos, but they're saying he was there walking around on video at the church for a good 30 minutes.
Yeah, he was there for a while.
So this is anywhere between 3 and 3:30 a.m.
Yep, right around there. He could have been getting this stuff ready.
He really could have, yeah.
Already picked his target.
Why would you park there? You know, at this gun store to get all your shit together. Yeah. All them fucking cameras there. Yeah, it just doesn't seem to make sense. But I mean,
not the brightest people.
No, not yet. Not the brightest people are going to take and do something like this.
I mean, yeah, he, like in the other parking lot, he shut his lights off, but he was driving right underneath the lights in the parking lot. So
right.
Somebody who I don't know.
I don't. I don't understand what this guy's trying to do. If you subscribe to the burglary theory when it comes to the church, then this kind of could fit in. That maybe he was casing this place. He saw way too many cameras. There were cars there. Maybe he spotted somebody there inside.
Off he goes.
And off he goes. He was sitting there for maybe about 3 minutes, 2-3 minutes, maybe.
And did he turn left out of that parking lot? Another car coming.
I think we'll see here in 1 second.
If I remember right, that's the ammo place, and the church was down on the left.
Down, yeah.
He would have took a left out of there, I think. If I remember right. There it goes. You can clearly see the car. I mean, they even know what kind of car it is. What is it, an Altima?
Oh, an Altima, yeah. Silver-ish.
Couldn't get the plate numbers off of it.
No.
Obviously, but yeah, I mean, we'll have to look and see where the church was and compare to that. But I can't remember.
I can't. If I'm looking, if I'm trying to remember in my head, and I want to say that if you turned out of the SFWA, you make a left, and I thought it was up on the right.
I thought it was too, left and up on the right, but he might have had to go down a side street here. If he takes the left here, okay, he's taking the right. We have to figure out what time it was and where he was going or what he was doing. I don't remember.
Yeah,
but he was there at the right time, acting suspicious and
very, very much so, acting suspicious.
3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it is a good time to break in. If you're a guy or a person who's breaking into someplace, 3 o'clock in the morning, pretty good time to do it.
Well, especially, and especially a church.
Yeah.
A lot of churches, aren't even open on Mondays.
And parking there. If he had a view to that church, that could have gave him time to not only get ready, but to make sure that people weren't pulling into the church and stuff. Just seeing it from afar.
Yeah.
It could be a burglary attempt. It could be a personal thing too, though. After all, he left as soon as the murder was over. Mm-hmm. Nothing was ever taken from the church. They reported nothing missing.
And that's one of the biggest things that that takes and keeps me from fully subscribing to the burglary thing.
Yeah.
Nothing was taken. Yeah, sure. Maybe he was just looking strictly for the cash, and that's why he was busting windows, trying to get in the doors, trying to find where the money was. You didn't want to carry a bunch of, there's a lot of, audio equipment,
Yeah.
video equipment, churches. Usually, there's a lot of things of value.
Paintings. Some of the
Paintings.
crucifixes hanging are worth a
Right.
lot of money.
Some say, well, he wasn't going to go after something that big. He was, he's a burglar. He's trying to, he's looking for money, probably something that he can easily carry,
Sure.
get away with. And yeah, that's logical. That makes sense. But nothing, not, her, if he, was, trying to burglarize his place and he got caught in the middle of it. Oh, why did, none of her jewelry was missing.
Yeah.
Nothing of her,
Yeah.
any valuables on her,
No.
money, anything wasn't taken.
Right. This was well known. She had put it all over Facebook that they were going to do this morning on this morning. So a lot of people would have known when she was going to be there.
Yeah, she let everyone know that the rain wasn't going to stop them, right?
And if this guy is a burglar, and he is the most nonchalant burglar I've ever seen in my life, the way he's just moseying around the church, it would be odd for me for a burglar. You figure a burglar, they're going around kind of quick, looking for the goods, wanting to get in and out just in case somebody's seeing him. Man, this guy hovered for over a half an hour. Just kind of hovered around, trying to get into doors nonchalantly, couldn't get into them, breaking some glass, not taking nothing.
Right.
It's odd. Dressed up as a SWAT guy is odd.
Yeah.
He had his face covered, and he knew there's probably going to be cameras there, very possibly. What did he want to scare a victim? Was he acting like a police officer? Did he know he was going to encounter somebody? Was he planning on encountering somebody?
Exactly. And that's a good segue because we've been talking a lot about this burglary aspect of it. Another one is it's a targeted killing.
Yeah.
You're kind of leaning that way because there were some suspects, of course, when there's a murder that, the spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever's closest to the victim is going to get looked at first, family, husbands, wives, whatever. And that was also the case. Was it Brandon?
Oh, was it Randy?
Randy was the dad.
Okay.
I think. And then maybe
I think that might have been it.
I think that might have been. But Randy is Missy's father-in-law, and I think it's Brandon. Apologize if I get that wrong. But anyway,
the husband.
The husband. There we go. That's a safe way to do it.
Yeah.
They were obviously both looked at. The husband was out on a fishing trip. That was, that was confirmed. It was it the husband that they used the cell phone, the pinging, or that was the dad?
I think they did all. I think they did all of them.
All of them.
What they did was they contacted AT&T and Verizon and stuff, and they asked for all, whoever had that phone in that area within an hour, within so many feet of a radius or whatever. And I guess they turned it over. I don't know. I don't know whatever became of that. Like I said, they're holding all that stuff really close.
Yeah.
And they're not telling anybody.
Because they can usually tell. Everybody's going to. You're going to use your cell phone at least some point.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're out fishing, these days you probably could get a signal. Maybe there's some places you can't. But, pinging.
I think they did with the husband just to verify where he was. I think he was pretty far away. And, was it Biloxi?
Yeah.
Something like that. He was pretty far away. He's got an alibi. These, the people he was with and receipts. He's got the whole nine. Phone calls, texts to and from, and everything like that. They know where he was.
The father-in-law as well. He was away with his wife. I don't remember exactly where he went. But he was also, said to, be cleared as a suspect, and that was the one that you were really looking at.
Oh yeah, the father-in-law. When they put these videos out there, like the bridge guy and stuff, and they always tell you, watch the gait, watch the way this person walks.
Right.
Man, the person has a real peculiar walk. Then if you watch the father-in-law, man, it's identical. They got the same build. They got the same strange walk. the way they reach for the doors are the same, where he keeps his arm out there for a few minutes instead of just reaching up for the door,
Right.
like he's got a hip problem or something. And it matches to me. And when they give their interviews and stuff, you know, if somebody makes an allegation against them, they'll come out right away and want to clear it up and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And just the expressions on their face, something that just draws me to him, man, other than just the walk. And it had been known for a while, it seems, that Missy Bevers had cheated on her husband. And pretty religious people, too, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And they were trying to work their relationship out. She was contacting him every day, telling him, "I love you," for like 10 months. And he made it clear that, that's pretty much the reason why, so they could try to hold their relationship together.
Right.
There's kind of a motive to me right there. The husband going out of town, gives him a good alibi. But what about the father-in-law coming in and doing something?
I've watched
Yeah.
other true crime stories where that is actually how it works, to clear the husband but rid the husband's problem. Then
Yeah.
either murder for hire,
Yeah.
or you get, in this case, possibly the
Yeah.
father-in-law, who I guess would have a lot of anger,
Sure.
that, "Hey,
It's
you
his boy.
cheated on my son,"
Yeah. It's a Texas family, man. It's my boy.
yeah,
And a lot of families do stick together like that. I have a family that's close like that. That
sure.
would, I don't know if they would kill somebody for me. I don't think they would do that, but they would definitely have my back.
Probably not over cheating, but
Yeah, no.
I would take someone's life for one of my kids,
Oh,
be
yeah.
it if they're in any danger
Yeah.
or were harmed in any way. But hey, if your wife or your husband cheats on you,
Yeah.
that's your own bag of worms there.
And that's, yeah.
But that's a really good. I mean, it seems very logical.
Just the way he walks and stuff looks very similar. The height,
Yeah.
the hunched back, it so looks like him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, the key to it is probably finding out who bought that outfit at a certain time. But
Right.
um, and I'm not 100% on that. That's just a gut feeling, man. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you brought up the other guy,
Which, yeah, I'm gonna get to him, and
that
yeah.
that kind of makes me think otherwise, though, that it could have been. But why kill her is my whole question with that. But that is interesting, and it does make me think that it could have.
Now, the other guy that you were talking about, because they didn't have, I mean, there were some messages through linked.
LinkedIn.
I'm not familiar with this site. Another social media type deal, but I guess they had retrieved some messages back and forth, a couple of them from a couple different guys, I guess. One, she showed her best friend just days before she was murdered. They both kind of agreed, "Ah, this is kind of creepy, and strange." Then there was another one that they looked at that they said was more like intimate, almost like an affair type deal. Um, and those, those were, I guess, checked out. I'm assuming. I
I would think
don't know.
so.
I think the one they were able to talk to the one guy.
Yeah, I think they got I think they cleared all of them.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
So
for what they said.
everyone they've cleared, or everyone they've talked to, they pretty much cleared. They either have strong alibis, and this is another one that strikes me like the father-in-law Randy strikes you. This new lead, well, and this isn't new, but came in 2019. A tip came over. They got a tip, and it was a former Lancaster police officer. His name is Bobby Wayne Henry, and he was also a tactical officer. So he had the tactical gear, the SWAT gear, and admitted to the police in an interview that he owned riot gear. It didn't fit him anymore. He still owned his old stuff. He was a licensed security guard and worked Missy's funeral. That is a little that we see that sometimes with people who are a little off. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe this was a stalker,
Yeah, could have been.
you know, that had seen her, because he is also a member of the Creekside Church of Christ,
Yeah.
where
Belongs to that
this
church.
all happened. He maybe he was just a crazed stalker, and they like to do that. Now he's working security at Missy's funeral, and attended mass, like I said, at the
Yeah.
Creekside Church. He was suspended. He's not a very nice guy. He
No.
was suspended from the police force for aggravated sexual assault.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe he does have that. Maybe the one guy on Linked was him.
Could have been.
The creepy, strange message. And he owned a similar car as the one seen in the video. Also walked with a limp. Now, I think most of you, would probably, be like, well, bam, there's your guy.
Yeah. At least look at him.
Yeah, it seems pretty cut and dry. Let's see. They looked at they got a forensic podiatrist who take an exam and compared the walk of the video and this guy, Henry, and findings were inconclusive. They couldn't say yes or no. Now here's the thing that just kills me, and we were talking. There's no real difference, I don't think, for the naked eye between, like 5'8", 5'9", and 6 foot.
It'd be hard to tell.
Yeah, I would think. Now, they did get some people, forensic people involved to take and look at these videos to be able to give you, like you said, if you look at the door frame,
Yeah.
and you can kind of gauge there and get an estimate, which is what they did. They said between 5'2" and 5'8". All right.
That's a big difference.
That's
in
a
size.
real big difference. So you got 6-inch difference there, but the main issue with Henry being a suspect is that he was 6'1". So we're talking about 5-6 inches the other way.
Yeah.
So you have a 5-6 inch, so damn word I'm looking for, range.
Yeah.
You got a 6-inch range that the police are saying, okay, he's between this and this. But this guy, 6'1", said he's far too large to be the person.
So they should be able to match it up pretty decently just by going in and measuring the door frames of the church. I'm sure that's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
There are objects in the room as you walk by them and
Sure.
stuff. They could have, but it is still just an estimate. It's hard to say.
It is.
Fits my guy. As far as the perp, I think he's right around 5'8", 5'9". But this guy, man, it sounds like he fits the bill to me. Other than that one thing,
yeah.
But how certain are they of it? I don't know.
Right.
Too bad we don't live a little bit closer. We could sneak in the church when they're having mass one day and just measure the door frame. Find out. But and then we could look at him compared to it. I don't know if it's a normal sized frame like in a house.
Right.
But I don't come up. I'm 5'10". I don't come up anywhere near the top of that door.
Mm-hmm.
It's still pretty good above me. I'm looking like 6.5 feet up there.
Sure.
So I don't know. I think it'd be hard to say. He could be anywhere to me, probably 5'6" to 6 foot, maybe. But who knows? And if we're talking 5'2", as far as that low, then we're talking a woman, maybe.
It very well, yeah, very well could. And that was another theory.
It was.
Because they apparently ruled out Henry, because along with the aggravated, sexual assault and things like that, they did a search of his place.
He fits though, man.
Multiple devices that contained child porn. He was arrested on pornography charges. He did have a interview with Dallas WFAA News. He said that you don't know Missy. Never even heard about her, heard of her. And his alibi for the night Missy was murdered was confirmed.
Well, he said he didn't do it, so that's good enough for me.
Yeah, that seems exactly how they do it. Oh, did you do it? Nope. All right.
How many times have alibis been false? It's so easy to get somebody who cares about you or a friend to say, "Yeah, it was with me."
Sure.
It's so easy to do, man.
And now, I mean, yeah, they can ping your phone and whatnot, but if you're planning
You
on,
wouldn't even take your phone.
you wouldn't even take your phone.
Yeah.
You would have your phone in a place that would have it ping
Yeah.
because it's just assumed everybody has a phone on them,
Yeah.
and it's probably for the most part true.
Yeah, but I think by this time, most people who are going out to commit a crime would know to leave that home. I think
I would certainly
by this
hope so.
point, with as many
Right.
stories of people being traced by their phones,
Right.
you figure that they wouldn't, but you never know, man. Man, I don't know how to get there without my phone.
Yeah, right.
You never know, man.
Nobody has McNally maps anymore.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Foldable maps in the car.
Yeah, that once you unfold them, you could not fold the sons of bitches back up.
Right. Man, he fits. That dude fits the bill. I mean, as far as
other than that little,
5-6
inch discrepancy,
yeah.
Which is all just their assumption that he's 5'2" to 5'8".
Yeah, they did the same with Bridge Guy. They came out with a couple different measurements for Bridge Guy. Guy. And by the way, man, when we said that Bridge Guy was pretty dull name,
it was, yeah.
This guy doesn't even have a name.
Yeah.
He's not even good enough to get a killer name.
Yeah.
I've been calling him SWAT Man.
Or the Midlothian murder. Madman. Yeah.
Midlothian Madman.
There you go.
See, if you put a catchy thing out there like that, it grabs more people's attention.
It's sad but true. I mean, we're not trying to make light of the death of this of Missy, but you know, grabs people attention, I guess.
Yeah, go look at the Jack the Ripper Reddit board, man. There's still people to this day, and it's because of the name.
Yeah,
there are people interested in that case just because of the name, and then they go to it.
It draws you
a big difference.
Sure.
They should, like Bridge Guy, should have been stuck with the Snapchat killer. It draws more attention. So giving a killer a name, there's a purpose for it.
I would think it's marketing.
Oh yeah,
PR.
Brand. So Liberty Mutual can sponsor.
Liberty.
So stupid.
Liberty. Well,
we just advertise for them.
Yeah, I know, man. We don't even get fucking paid. So and that, I mean, yes, it was speculated a female, possibly anybody that even came close to fit in the bill again. You know,
and maybe it was, it could have been somebody who was an early camper or something that knew her and just didn't like her, but I don't know, man. It just seems kind of odd. Why go that far?
Because with the infidelity and things like that, maybe it had something to do with that.
I know you can't tell a lot about emotion just from the way people talk, and how they're grieving or something.
Sure.
But their interviews are a bit odd to me. Just to me, maybe you're talking about something serious like that, and the father-in-law's over there smiling and smirking, and it strikes me.
I've seen a video where the I don't know if it's a news press conference, where the husband, either he's a really good actor or but he broke down. He was never one that I think was seriously, that you could take a second look at,
not him.
Oh, maybe it's him, after he was cleared. I don't believe the husband had anything to do with it. But then again, we go back to this infidelity thing. Was this a murder for hire?
Right as soon as he leaves town. It's peculiar. He has the strongest alibi of anybody.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it is peculiar. I mean, that is obviously why you take a look at them first. I'm sure they did.
Sure.
But I don't know. It still seems odd. The way he walks, man. It ain't like the Bridge Guy video. you can see this person walking on the video, and then you can go and see interviews that this guy's done and watch him walk all over the place and open doors, and he does it the same exact way.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there's something's there,
and there's
man.
little things like that, unless for some strange reason, whoever we see in the video walking around the church walk that way to disguise their walk. That has been theorized. I think that might be a little far-fetched. Who knows, though? I mean, at this point, we really don't know. There's not a lot that's come out. Again, just like Delphi, like I mentioned in the beginning of the show, just like Delphi, really only have this one video of the killer, and yet we're stuck.
Something we haven't even thought about at all. It's because could it just be what it is in plain sight? Could it be a cop?
Interesting.
Nobody ever talks about that. The person's wearing police gear. Is it real police gear? Let's find out. Is this a cop doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with the obvious. The person's wearing a police uniform. Where'd that uniform come from?
Right. And I think you had mentioned it on the show, but I know we talked about it before. The first course of action is to look into where did this suit come from? Did anybody buy it, for a Halloween, a costume party or something?
What company sells that kind of thing? How
Right.
many did they sell in the year before? Who'd they sell to?
Yeah. I can't imagine those SWAT uniforms and those cosplay SWAT are fucking flying off the shelf.
I wouldn't think so.
Okay, it's not like a Michael Myers, a Jason, or any kind of popular Disney fucking characters. Who dresses up as a cop anymore?
Right, nobody.
So the search, the search for who could have bought this, wouldn't be that difficult. I wouldn't
think so. You're looking at it, you should be able to find out who the maker of it was,
sure,
where they sell from. Find out how many were sold in that area. It looks like it's pretty big, extra large, extra large. I don't know. Maybe that's the key. Does the father-in-law have an outfit? Like, did he ever buy one?
Right.
That guy you're talking.
Or I was going to say, where you got Henry there, last name Henry, by the way, who actually fucking owns one.
Yeah,
and told the cops, I own one. I own one that looks just like that. Yeah, I have a limp. Yeah, I go to this church. Oh, okay. All right. We're going to clear you as a suspect because you happen to be 5 inches taller than what we think.
And what we estimated. Yeah. And he does make a great suspect.
He really does. I'm going to keep my eye on this guy, for the remainder of, however long this case goes on. We're already, 7 years? Yeah, 7 years.
Yeah.
I did say 2016, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 7 years this year. We just passed, I think it was in April.
April 18th, yeah. It seems like a very senseless killing. But again, with so many, different ways that this, different theories, was it infidelity? Was it a murder for hire? Was it a robbery gone bad? We really don't know at this point.
It's just like the Delphi stuff. It's so sad. I know she was cheating on her husband and stuff. That stuff's not good, obviously, but it ain't worth getting killed over.
No.
And she was a real go-getter. She was in her 40s and was exercising and was good to her kids and
just seemed to be, you're just model citizen, just doing good, minding their own business, not bothering anybody, and I always make a joke because I watch a lot of these true crime shows, and you always hear like, they'll have the family members coming, talking to the family members about, their loved one who passed or was killed. And I always say, I had a smile that light up a room. Yeah. It's like everyone that's murdered was just the greatest person in the world, right. And just, again, I have a very dark sense of humor, very black sense of humor. So I would just, for one time, like somebody come up and be like, "Hey, that dude was a dick."
Yeah.
To hell with him.
He deserved what he got. I would have done it.
Yeah. The guy beat me to the punch.
Yeah. Everybody in the neighborhood hated that guy.
I mean, nobody liked his ass. What are these people talking about? I don't know. Because I'm just that retarded. I'm not trying to belittle anybody, but
Yeah, it was always the saddest time when I was a grave digger.
yeah.
Was when the little old women would come in there and they had to be a pallbearer because no family would come and stuff because they kind of saw him that way. Like, I don't really like this person. So it always made me feel bad.
Wow.
It happened a couple times. And it was always a little old woman too, a 90-year-old woman, and family didn't show up.
So you had to carry him?
Yeah, we did. We carried him down and set everything up for nobody to come. It was always really sad when that happened.
That's nuts.
But that didn't happen with her, apparently.
Oh no,
she had kids and family that loved her very much.
Yeah, I seen. I heard that she had just so many people showing up.
Yeah,
I mean, this whole little community, was it Cedar Rock? I don't know. But the whole community really turned up. And for this particular case, it wasn't, as we hear so many times, it wasn't something that happens a lot.
Yeah. It's still a big mystery.
But it's another one of those unsolved crimes that a lot of people, unless you follow this, what? Let's see. What does it say? Ken McElroy. Wasn't much said of that guy after he was murdered by the town folk.
I remember Skidmore. That's Skidmore. Is that Missouri? There was a guy who was bullying everybody in the neighborhood, actually shot a couple people and kept getting off, getting let out of jail and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And so the town decided to have a meeting. So they had this big meeting in the town and decided we're going to kill this guy. And when he was in the bar, they were having their meeting. They all went from the meeting to the bar where him and his wife were. And as soon as he got in his truck outside, they blasted him and killed him. And nobody ever turned anybody in for it. And the whole neighborhood was
there's a
wild story too, man.
There's a documentary. I think it was called the Town That Saw Nothing.
Yeah, something like that. There is a documentary.
Yeah, I believe. Hey, thanks for bringing that up, kid. Check the rhyme.
It's an interesting story.
He's a rapper. We got B2 Trill and Kid Check the Rhyme.
Yeah, B2 Trill.
B2 Trill. That's right. Bobby 2 Trill. But yeah, that's I need to watch that again. I watched that documentary not that long ago, or well, no, actually a couple years ago, actually. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I can't remember who said something to me about that. I don't know if it might have been you. As a matter of fact, a few years back. Yeah, it might have been you that mentioned something about this.
It's an interesting story, man.
Yeah.
Small little town. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, man. The dude was going around shooting people and threatening people. And
the town bully got taken out by the town.
Yeah, the cop kind of turned his head, went out of town, and said, "Do what you want to do."
Well, I guess that's a plus of living in a small town like that, man. And
got rid of the problem.
They got rid of the problem, man. It's self-justice right there. I dig that though.
Nobody said anything. Hundreds of people saw it, man. Nobody said fucking
that. Yeah,
that's wild. It is wild.
How big was the town? I need to refresh. Kid, check the rhyme. How big was this town population wise? Do you know offhand? I don't feel like Googling right now, so I'm gonna be lazy.
I've only been a couple hundred people.
A few hundred people. That's what I was kind of thinking. Maybe a few hundred people would be able to keep that shit a secret.
Now his wife said she named names. The wife saw it all. She was there. She named names, but can't get the people on it. Other people are saying, nope, it was with me.
Yeah, you got the whole town is
protecting each other.
A solid town, small town, maybe 100. Okay,
yeah, small
that makes sense. That'd be real easy to do.
Yeah.
I mean that'd be real to fucking lynch somebody, and everyone in the town is your alibi.
Nope, they were all with me.
I
It
mean,
worked.
wow. So
It's interesting.
how did they find? I mean, how did it come out that here we go into another topic? But we got a few minutes, and honestly, there was not really a whole much more that we can add to the Missy Bevers right now.
Yeah,
So
there's really
let's
not a whole
talk
lot.
about this town. How did it come out that that's what happened? I mean, is it if the town's that pretty much secluded,
Yeah,
right?
this was his wife pretty much.
That came out and said that
Yeah,
they
so
lynched their old man.
yeah, so that there was she even said out of her own mouth, she said it was the whole town was there.
Huh.
Yeah, she and so these people had this meeting and went right over from the meeting to the bar where he was because he had just got let out of jail.
No one saw a damn thing.
He just got let out of jail on appeal. He had got sentenced for shooting the guy. And since he was on appeal, his lawyer was able to get him out while he was on appeal. And he had been threatening he was going to kill a lot more people in that town if he got out. So when he got out and he went to the bar, they had this big meeting around the corner. And they said, "Hey man, look, we're going to take care of this if you all have our backs on it." And
Wow.
they went over and took care of it right away, man. True story. What was that, 1981 or something like that happened? It was the early 80s.
Is it? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that again now.
Yeah, really interesting story. I dug it.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're gonna pull the plug on this one. Again a good
Go
talk.
go watch the guy walk and watch that father-in-law walk.
Yeah,
Good
because
to
a
see.
lot of people just like us, they went and did that and tried, they looking at different ways
Yeah,
and all the similarities.
peculiar.
Very peculiar. Yeah. Go check it out. And again, if you missed our Delphi case, talking about a lot of the documents that were released, was it last week or
A couple weeks ago.
yeah? Is it a man or a woman, kid? Well, it's theorized that it could be a woman. I think they're kind of swaying towards it was a guy in the SWAT
Yeah.
uniform. If that's what you are referring to, yes. That's where everyone is leaning, although it was theorized. People are, theorizing that okay, maybe it's a female pissed off because Missy was maybe having an affair with her significant other. There's just it's kind of all over the place. So that is, I think, lightweight on the radar.
Yeah,
It may be
is.
being a woman. There are some mannerisms that people are looking at that make them believe it could possibly be a woman. And with the infidelity coming out, that is just, I think, kind of sparking it. Kid says, seems like after all this time, it would have to be a stranger as they are the hardest to crack, but the father-in-law's walk is so close. Exactly. Yeah.
Nothing they can
And that's the
undo.
thing. His alibi checked out.
Yeah.
His walk is super, super similar to it.
Yeah.
Seems to be of the same build,
Yeah.
the same height.
Yeah.
He's a little bit shorter than his son. His son looks like he may be about 6'1", 6'2". He's a little bit taller guy. There's just so many, different ways that this could go. This is going to be an interesting case to see, how this pans out, how, what developments come out. Who knows how long it'll take? I mean, it's already been 7 years, a little over 7 years now. So it's interesting nonetheless, and hopefully there does come a day where some justice can come for the family.
Yeah.
Again, I don't believe the husband is involved at all. Other than if it was a murder for hire. Like I said, there's so many ways that this could go.
Yeah.
That I'd hate to be a detective on this one,
Yeah, no
man,
doubt, right?
because I mean, you got so many outlets and so many different
Yeah,
directions that this could really go. So
agreed.
yeah, I want to thank everyone for listening. We get most of our listens after the fact. We've only been doing this for a couple weeks
Right.
now, and it's been fun. And
Yeah, absolutely.
if we come across another good unsolved story to talk about, we'll definitely be back. Thank you, kid, for the
Absolutely.
comments,
Yep,
and
yep, sure.
again, YouTube, man. That's where all the cool people are.
What are we doing here?
I know. What the fuck are we doing here? Night of the Living Dreads over there on YouTube. Hit the live tab, and that's where all of these here vids will
Yeah.
be. So with that, I'm going to peace.
Peace.
Take care.